it would look a lot different, right? Just general society would be a lot different if everyone lived life with integrity. Okay, so improving communication at the dinner table, right? So if you don't have dinner together as a family, I do want you to strive to do that. As kids get older, it's harder because everybody's kind of going in different directions a lot. Like when we have jobs and they have after school activities that you don't have to drive to anymore, like those kinds of things, it does make it harder. And in those situations, if you can make certain nights, like, okay, Sunday night is always family dinner night, right? Family dinners, and sometimes they are a wreck, right? And know that that's really okay too, right? For your family to be crazy is okay, because that is still part of being in a family, right? We're all a little bit crazy, right? And how dull would it be if we weren't, right? Normal is so no fun, right? I tell kids that all the time. I'm like, normal, imagine if we were all the same, like how dull would life be, right? So crazy dinners, you need to appreciate those meals too, right? And you need to appreciate the other meals. Well, you have to have big conversations about stuff, right? Stuff that's going on at school. So this is my big tip for you with dinner conversations. Say little, okay? Say little. If they can talk the most, let them lead the conversation. It might go south, right? As in the topic of conversation might go south. But the least you say, the better. Because at certain age, well, and it happens really young. Like I knew a little girl at 5, she started editing everything she said. Because she couldn't say anything right, because her father corrected her on everything that came out of her mouth. Everything she said, he managed to correct it in some way. So she learned to just not say it. And I'm like, ooh, she's smart. She shouldn't, right? She learned very, very young. I thought 5 was really young for her to learn not to talk, but she did, right? And to this day, she only says what's going to be approved. So I can tell you right now, her dad does not know half the stuff that's going on in her life, which is his doing, right? That's his stuff. And it's okay, because I know that she's got her mom that she can talk to about, like, really what's going on. So say little and try not to criticize. It's very hard when they start talking about stuff. They talk about a friend, and you say something about not liking that friend, they will just stop talking about that friend, right? So the best thing you can do is just to do a lot of repeating back. Oh, so your friend Joey, made fart noises with his armpit in class. Okay. Oh, so your teacher was recording y'all at school today. Okay. Right? Just repeating back what they say is fine. Right? Because if they hear criticism and judgment, they'll just edit. They also start at a certain age for some shock factor stuff, right? Let's see if I can get them going. Let's talk about sex and drugs and smoking and, vaping and all that stuff at the dinner table, right? So the best thing for you to do is just to repeat back what they say, right? Oh, so your friends are all vaping now. Okay, I didn't know that. Dad and I wouldn't do that. There's a lot of research now that's coming out about how dangerous it is. We wouldn't do that. And then you just move on. Because what happens is if you engage in that argument, oh, you're not doing that, you better not do that, you won't live in this house if you do that. Now they have to let it stay a little longer. This might have just been a passing thought that they were just entertaining for a minute, like, yeah, all my friends are doing it, I might start thinking about it. Oh, mom and dad just freaked out on me, guess what I'm doing? Right? Now it's something that they actually consider, or they hold on to the thinking longer, whereas they could have just let it sail through. Right? It was just a passing thought. Mom and dad didn't overreact, didn't do anything. I can just move on. Okay? Does that make sense, the way I said that? Okay. So repeat back a lot. I had a mom and a little girl, and the mom was a life coach. Okay, like as her job, she was a life coach. So when her daughter would come to her, just with stuff at school, like friend stuff at school, catty girl stuff, bullying stuff, all this kind of things were happening, right? Mom was always trying to solve it. She wanted to fix it. She wanted to fix everything. And so the little girl and I got to talking, and she's like, she does not just comfort me. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's big. That's a big deal, right? Mom missed this big piece, right? So she wasn't getting comfort. She just wanted someone to like hug her and say, yeah, that was horrible, right? I'm sorry that that happened to you. That's all she wanted. That's all she was looking for, and Mom couldn't do it. So I spent a lot of time with Mom trying to get her to just nurture. That's it. We don't have to solve it, right? And she would then get to the point where that my client would call the mom on it. Miss Carrie said you're not supposed to solve it. And I'm like, well, I don't know if I like that, but but I'm not there to change it, right? So the mom would tell me, yes, she tells me that I'm not supposed to do that. You said I'm not supposed to solve it. And I'm like, yeah, because that's not what she wanted in the moment, right? So then I had a dad, and he was the stepdad that married into the family with a bunch of girls, right? So I was seeing the oldest girl in therapy, right? And the stepdad comes in, and I was just kind of looking at him, and he's just like, what? What am I doing? What is happening right now? And I'm like, okay, this is just a tip, right? Don't solve any of their problems. And he's like, what? And I'm like, don't try to solve any of it. I just want you to listen. Repeat back so they know that you're listening. Repeating back just knows that they just know you're listening, right? We did that when they were little all the time. Oh, you got the red ball? Okay, go get the blue ball. Look, you got the blue ball, right? We repeated back all the time, right? It's just kind of the same thing. So I told him, don't try and solve anything, because what was happening is that was causing problems, because he was saying the wrong thing. He was never getting it right? And then he was failing all the time, and he desperately wanted to be doing this right. He loved them. He loved these little girls, so he was thrilled when I said, just stop talking. Don't try to solve anything. It's going to be okay. Just hear them, right? So take that perspective when you sit down at the dinner table, or when they start talking to you. Even if your eyes might want to bug out of your head because of the stuff that they say, right? I need you to take it like a champ. And then after dinner, go cry in your room with each other and comfort each other. And pray that they really would it was just a passing thought. Okay.